What is the craziest thing a car manufacturer can do? Besides put a naturally aspirated V12 into an SUV, but something that doesn't cost as much as a 3-story house in Texas. The German automaker Mercedes Benz took their smallest entry-level vehicle at the time and stuffed a massive V8 in the front hood, and in 2008, that's exactly how one of the most iconic German cars was born. Okay, not literally. The name was called the C63 AMG, hence its engine. Even though it had a 6.2 liter and not a 6.3 liter, but either way, Mercedes-Benz released a demon out of HE double hockey sticks that sounded just crazy. Just as the entire car was, but at the same time having an elegant and fluid design, so you would never know that under its elegant body it packed a massive, pleasuring, big. But Mercedes took that exact same car and turned it into an even crazier machine with the C63 AMG Black Series. Then in 2015, the second generation C63 was revealed to the world, but it didn't use a 6-point-something V8, but instead a 4-liter V8 with 2 turbos attached to it. Of course, there was a lot of backlash because the heart that powered it wasn't as big or as loud or as the wet fart sounding car that came before it, according to some people, and it wasn't as responsive as the instantaneous naturally aspirated power plant in the previous model, but good gosh was it a lot faster. Despite the backlash of half of the AMG fanboys, no one seemed to complain about the first generation C63, because, well, think about what is there to complain about. It is truly automotive perfection. But the same can't be said about the all-new third generation C63 nameplate, because it just could be the most controversial car of the decade, and be prepared for everyone to be pissed because it's finally here. If you haven't already, please subscribe down below to help me achieve my dream of becoming a successful YouTuber. I make all types of content on this channel, from everything from car reviews, to vlogs, to my personal opinions, to redesigning cars, to short videos, and even informative videos. So basically every single thing a car guy would want in a YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and turn on post notifications so you'll be notified every single time I make a new video. But one of the most iconic names in Euro car history, the Mercedes Benz C63 AMG, is in its third generation right now, and it is finally here, which isn't a very exciting thing. Honestly, I don't know anyone that would actually be excited about the brand new C63 AMG because,
if you know, you know.
Now first, I'm going to go straight into the design because I'm really into car design and I have some strong opinions about this car. And then we'll get into all the facts that we know and everything that we do know that is confirmed already and that sort of thing with the rumors, because they are quite interesting. So the new C63 was actually in plain sight like a few months ago, and it just had a wrap covering the body line, so we basically know how the car looks already. And in my opinion, it doesn't look closely as good as the previous generation C63, which was a beautiful design, and I love the way the daytime running lights, or DRLs, went into a body line that flowed into the shoulder line, going downwards, giving it a sense of motion while it was standing still, which was just gorgeous and one of my favorite Mercedes-Benz designs. And then the rear is so planted to the ground, especially with those wide rear fenders that stick out under the shoulder line that runs into the front, and those taillights are just incredibly detailed and just so nice to even look at. The all-new Mercedes-Benz C-Class is Mercedes-Benz new entry-level model, if you don't count the small SUV crossovers, and in my opinion the front is okay, but not a very fluid and elegant or interesting design because, well, first of all, it now has Mercedes-Benz. It now has Mercs. I'm just not
gonna say Mercedes-Benz or Mercedes is.
It has Merc's new nose, the headlights look like an E-Class, the GT 4-door, and a bloated version of the S-Class It looks like a bloated version of the S-Class headlights. It's not as elegant and graceful or as, quote, happy looking to the outgoing C-Class, which looked really pretty. The taillights are also a huge downgrade in my opinion because they look bloated and blobbish and is trying to look its best like the taillights of the elegant S-Class. The new interior on the C-Class is also an Apple lover's dream, with screens everywhere including a complimentary iPad slapped on to control everything and an iPhone 14 Pro Max for the speedometer. How lovely. The AMG C43 then got released a few months ago, and I literally don't see any differences in the body compared to the C300. Instead of using the outgoing model's twin turbocharged V6 that actually sounded pretty good in my opinion, it now uses a hybrid 4-cylinder, just like every new gen C-Class will use. So every engine above 4 cylinders will not be used, including the C63 AMG. And that brings us into the powertrain and everything that we already know that is confirmed to be true. The hype around the new C63, well, it's not even actually hype, it's just criticism just going around about this car, about the topic that all car enthusiasts are talking about this car, and that is instead of the massive V8 that Mercedes fitted into the small C-Class, it will use a 4-cylinder hybrid. But whatever you do, just do not underestimate the power that this 4-cylinder is capable of, because the engine will be based on the engine of their quick, sporty pocket rocket, the A45S AMG. It uses a 2-liter turbocharged inline 4-cylinder, which doesn't sound that exciting, like you could literally get this in a crossover SUV that you see everywhere, until you hear that this car has the most powerful 4-cylinder in production in the world. It pumps out 416 horsepower to the wheels and 369 pound-feet of torque, but for the C63, it has been confirmed that it will produce 470 horsepower, which is 1 more horsepower than the outgoing C63. But of course, everyone was interested and bought the C63S, which put down 503 horsepower. Now keep in mind that the new C63 AMG's 4-cylinder will pump out almost as much horsepower as the top trim level V8 model in the outgoing model, while using half the cylinders, but also sounding really weak. But then we have the 201 horsepower electric motor that bumps up the power a lot more, all the way up to 670 horsepower. Now just keep in mind that is the exact same horsepower that you can get in the brand new Chevrolet Corvette C806, which uses a 5.5 liter naturally aspirated flat plane crank V8 that revs to the moon. It also has the same horsepower as a McLaren Artura, 40 horsepower less than a Ferrari F8 Tributo, 40 more horsepower than a Lamborghini Huracan STO, 52 more horsepower than a Maserati MC20, and 10 more horsepower than a freaking Ferrari Enzo. And for all the BMW M car fanboys, such as I am, this is really hard to wrap our heads around this, but it will make 167 more horsepower than its competition, the BMW M4 and M3 competition.
No pun intended.
We don't have any official sounds of what the new C63 will sound like, but just take a listen to this because it sounds pretty much exactly like the Mercedes Benz A45S AMG because it uses that engine except tuned higher because it is a higher model. So the sound of the new C63 will sound extremely similar or even identical to the Mercedes Benz A45S, which again the new C63's engine is based off of. For pricing, I'm guessing that it would start around $78,000 and go all the way up to $110,000, so it's definitely not cheap. Top speed would probably be limited to 155 miles per hour, just like most performance cars and especially German and Euro cars, but if there's an option to remove the speed limiter by charging them an extra few $1,000s, I'm guessing it could go all the way up to 190 miles per hour, which is just an insane speed if you think about it. And remember, this is a C-Class. You know, the entry-level Mercedes. At least it's not fully electric, so At least be thankful for that. But that is basically it for today's video. If you did enjoy today's video, please give it a like and subscribe down below if you haven't already. It is my dream to become a successful YouTuber, and I make all types of content on this channel, from everything from car reviews to vlogs to my personal opinions to redesigning cars to short videos and even informative videos. So basically every single thing a car guy would want in a YouTube channel. So make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and turn on post notifications so you'll be notified every single time I make a new video. But tell me what you think about the all-new C63 AMG, and what do you think about the new 4-cylinder? Are you actually happy that it is downsizing power, and also it is definitely going to be more fuel efficient than the V8 that
Really, really thirsty.
But when you're getting a C63 AMG, do you really care about the fuel economy? But again, at least it's not all electric, just like
Dodge.
yeah, that is basically it. If you did enjoy today's video, I hope to see you in a future video, and bye for now. My god, it's so hot in here. It is finally here. Oh my gosh. But do not underestimate the power that this but do not under